Alrighty guys, we're back for some mono green graveyard, and this is a March of the Machine standard brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? Well, Titania, Voice of Gaea is technically what the deck is based around, but we're going to go over all the new cards first. So, Seed of Hope. This is a 1-mana instant speed, mill 2 cards. You may put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand. You gain 2 life. Yep, pretty solid. It's going to do a lot in here probably, so... more new cards, Deeproot Wayfinder. This is a 2-mana 2/3 Merfolk Scout. That's cool. Whenever Deeproot Wayfinder deals combat damage to a player or battle, surveil 1, then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Okay, so the surveil 1 is look at the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. Nice. Okay, more new cards. Wrenn and Realmbreaker. This is a 3-mana legendary planeswalker with 4 loyalty. Lands you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. Okay, so for the +1, up to 1 target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with vigilance, hexproof, and haste until your next turn. It's still a land. Oh my, yeah, that actually looks pretty good. That, like, it's a +1 too, and it protects itself, so yeah, I like it. -2, mill 3 cards. Nice. You may put a permanent card from among the milled cards into your hand, okay. And the -7, which we probably don't get to too often, you get an emblem with you may play lands and cast permanent spells from your graveyard. Yep, that could still come in handy in here though if we do reach the -7, so... More new cards, a Polukranos Reborn. This is a 3-mana with triple green up there. It's a legendary creature Hydra. It's a 4/5 with reach. Oh my, the stats on this are terrific. I think that reach is going to be pretty huge too, depending on what you're going up against. And for 6 mana and a white Phyrexian mana, which... I guess, technically, if you didn't want to pay the 2 life, if you had Wrenn and Realmbreaker out there, you could use that top ability there, add 1 mana of any color, right? To transform, Polukranos Reborn, activate only as a sorcery. Transforms into Polukranos Engine of Ruin, which is a 6/6 reach with lifelink, and whenever Polukranos or another non-token Hydra you control dies, you create a 3/3 green white Phyrexian Hydra creature token with reach, and a 3/3 green white Phyrexian Hydra creature token with lifelink. Whew, lots of stuff to read, huh? Yeah, looks like a solid one, guys. The main reason is just to have a nice chunky creature. I mean, we are rocking mono green, but also because it's a legendary creature, so a card in our mana base is going to benefit from having a legendary, so. Oh, actually, that's not a new card. Is that all the new cards? Look at us, guys. Okay, let's go over everything else real quick. Deathbonnet Sprout helping us mill is going to be huge. Willow Geist is a perfect fit for the list. 1 mana, 1/1 with trample, and whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on Willow Geist. Then when it dies, you gain life equal to its power. Dude, this card was just waiting for a card like Seed of Hope. Oh my goodness, right? Have a couple of Tyvar stand. Protection's important, and there's going to be moments where we have a lot of excess land because, you know, there's some good ways to ramp in this build, so might be able to finish up a game with that X ability. Teachings of the Kirin, helping us get more creatures on... or Kirin? Kirin. Either way. Helps us mill more, helps us get more creatures. It does everything you want it to in this build. We have a couple of Simian Simulacrums here as well. Titania, I guess we should go over Titania. I apologize, guys. There's always so much to go over whenever a new set releases that I get all mixed up sometimes. It's a 3-mana, 3/4 with reach. It's a legendary creature. Whenever 1 or more land cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, gain 2 life. Nice. A lot of life gain in this build, huh? At the beginning of your upkeep, if there are 4 or more land cards in your graveyard and you both own and control Titania, Voice of Gaea, and a land named Argoth, Sanctum of Nature, exile them, then meld them into Titania Gaea Incarnate. So, Gaea Incarnate is a vigilance, reach, trample, haste. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And then for 3 and a green, you can put 4 +1/+1 counters on target land you control. Becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. Pretty powerful card overall, especially if you can pull off that bottom ability, guys. I think, honestly, a 3-mana 3/4 with reach is relatively solid stats in general, and then you're just gaining life off of this with every other card in here that you're milling with. So, yeah, I like it. Okay, Conduit of Worlds. This is a 4-mana artifact that we don't see too often. You can play lands from your graveyard, and then you can tap to choose target non-land permanent in your graveyard. If you haven't cast a spell this turn, you may cast that card. If you do, you can't cast additional spells this turn, activate only as a sorcery. So what ends up happening, of course, is Titania gets gobbled up by spot removal over and over and over again, and Conduit of Worlds might actually help us get Titania back onto the board to actually meld this eventually, right? So also being able to play lands from the grave is not half bad. Speaking of which, we got a couple of Perennial Behemoths here, 5-mana 2/7, but it has Unearth for double green, which is huge in this build. You may play lands from your graveyard. So there's a really cool thing you can do with this. If you have this in the grave, you can go, if you have Willow Geist out, you can unearth it. The Willow Geist gets a counter from that. You can play a land from your grave because now you have Behemoth on the board. Willow Geist gets another counter from that. So yeah, it's a neat one. Of course, the unearth on the Simian Simulacrum works well with the Willow Geist as well. Mana base, guys. Brokers Hideout. We got all 4 of them in here, mainly because we kind of like having more lands in the grave, and it sacrifices itself. You get more life gain from this too. Then you just go find a forest and you're happy about it, right? Honestly, we might want more of these. So in the honorable mentions, I included Cabaret Courtyard and Riveteer's Overlook. Either way, you can have whatever you want in the build. If you don't want the 4 Brokers Hideout, go for Riveteer's Overlook, right? And hopefully these don't slow us down too much overall, which I don't think they will. I think overall they're going to be more beneficial, so. Who Endures, of course, and here is the Argoth Sanctum of Nature. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary green creature, which is why Polukranos being legendary is actually relatively important, huh? And hopefully these don't slow us down too much either. You know, the first couple turns, if all you have is Sanctum of Nature, you're probably in trouble. So for 2 mana and double green, you can tap it, create a 2/2 green bear creature token, then mill 3 cards. That's huge. Activate only as a sorcery. And of course, this is the card that melds with Titania. Whew, okay. Is that everything? Did I do it? Oh my goodness. Honorable mentions, guys. Shigeki is a legendary enchantment creature that could work well with the Sanctum of Nature. Definitely something to consider because of that channel ability on here too. I think overall Shigeki would make a solid like 1-of in this build. So yeah, something to think about. Tandem Takedown. Yep, take a look at the list, guys. Classic Red Cat fashion. There is no removal. We are completely trying to just run over the opponent with big old chunky land creatures. So Tandem Takedown almost made the list because I think it's actually going to be solid removal, but it'll be interesting to see if it's actually going to do a thing in general. So we'll see. We'll probably talk more in the honorable mentions about some kind of removal, right? We're going to need something, maybe Bushwhack, or I don't know. Yeah, Bushwhack probably should have been in the honorable mentions, honestly. So all right, guys, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first match here. What am I expecting from the list? I've been saying this for a while, but I'm not expecting too much. I think overall it's probably leaning towards jank, but it really depends what we're up against, man. We go up against like mono red, they have to do something seriously fast because we got some great life gain in this list. I'm actually gonna, I guess we're gonna start with the Deathbonnet Sprout over the Willow Geist for now. Yeah, and since we have like great reach 3-drops and stuff, like their Phoenix Chick and everything, like dude, it's really gonna depend. Okay, Brokers Hideout. Honestly, we'll get that swing. Honestly, I'm just gonna play out my 1-drops. dismal backwater from the opponent. Hopefully we can find a land. I'm sure we will be able to find one, but you never know. We might send them all to the grave from the sprouts. So far, so good with the lands hitting the grave, huh? All right, let's drop Teaching, mill 3 cards, and see what hits the grave here. Actually, we probably should have swung first, honestly, but another Brokers Hideout. That's not good, guys. That's not terrific. A lot of land is getting sent to the grave, and we really need to see a third mana, so we'll see. Celestis probably cut down open then, right? Another land. Another land! No! All the lands are hitting the grave. Okay, Deeproot Wayfinder's good. That's good news, at least. We'll go on to the Willow Geist, and at this point, man, we just gotta, like, expect a board wipe, which is a shame, but yeah, this has to deal the damage, right? Okay. Yeah, what the heck, we'll full swing. At least this flips next turn, and do we play around a board wipe? Nah. We don't know what the opponent's playing yet. We're just gonna get it all onto the board. We don't know what kind of Dimir they could be running. I'm assuming it's Dimir with a board wipe, but we just don't know. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, Gix's command will wipe the board. Tyvar stand. Oh no, guys. Oh no. We sent all of our mana to the grave, and it is hurting us right now for sure. That is hilarious. 6 mana. So the Gix's command here, they did each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest. No. They did where is it? Destroy each creature with power 2 or less. Ooh, that is rough, man. Blade Coil Serpent hits. Looks like they're going for haste here. And why not? Okay, we'll discard Simulacrum, since it has that unearth, right? Oh no, I thought they went for haste. I must have been seeing things. Well, Deathbonnet Sprout. Not the most ideal first game, guys. Missing all the land from the mills, but it's a little fun. You know, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen in a deck like this where you need to draw really well, but you end up milling it to the grave. I'm sure we'll protect the Deathbonnet. I mean, we have like, we have nothing else to do, and this is heavily leaning towards the opponent here. Oh, they couldn't give it haste. They need double red, and they only had 1 red from the Celestis. Did they? They dropped the make disappear. Dude, they are killing everything, man. Now, we could have played around the Gix's command, but all that would have done was we would have still just had a, where is it? Deeproot Wayfinder in hand. Oh, nice. Well, Polukranos trades here. Titania, we need to see the other side. Titania probably doesn't survive anyway, so let's get the Polukranos down so we have a great blocker. I mean, make disappear 2 pieces of spot removal, 3 pieces of spot removal with the hero's downfall. Brutal deck. Brutal deck, guys. All right, Seed of Hope's pretty good because we might actually see the land we need. I mean, who endures? Yeah. I guess, because it hits artifacts, so it lets us survive a little longer, but Brokers Hideout lets us filter. And this just ramps them. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine, guys. Everything's fine. Could do this on their turn too, but really, Soaring City. Oh no. Well, the opponent has really had everything here. I don't know if we had a chance after the command hit. Even if we did try to play around it even a little bit. This was not going to be ours, was it? It is pretty cool, though. We milled pretty good, and Titania could flip whenever. Oh, we had to discard the Titania since they played the Blade Coil again. Well, we might as well do this, and I think we'll let the opponent play it out. Mainly because I just want to see what else is on top of the deck, too. Wow, they take it. They take it. Yeah, I'm curious to see what else is on top of the deck here. 2 Titanias down. We didn't see the land we needed for the Titania either way, so 2-turn clock and Tyvar stand. Okay, 1-turn clock. Let's buff this serpent for them. Oh, never mind. I can't buff it to the point where we lose anyways. Also, this is creature you control. Oh, that's not fun. Sometimes we like to give the opponents a little bit of a boost. Yeah, rough first game, guys, but I haven't seen this version of Dimir. Is it rocking any new cards? Blade Coil Serpent? Sure. I mean, why not? I feel like having more red sources in the mana base would be good for the sake of that haste. You know what I mean? I feel like the Blade Coil Serpent, the haste part of this card is overlooked often. Even when we saw this being played in Grixis as well, they never did the haste, even when it was super beneficial for them, so I don't know. I'm just a hasty player in general, so I like the double red on that. And trample, too. Wow, okay, well. Blade Coil Serpent's kind of one that I've been overlooking, mainly because, you know, it is the Grixis colors, and I don't play Grixis too often, so. Alright, guys, this is essential. We need to see the 3rd mana before we start milling. So, if I have the option to play a different 1-drop other than the Deathbonnet, we should probably play the other option. For the sake of actually... Or we could just have all the mana in hand already. Yeah, that's fine too. This will work. Everything's fine, guys. Oh no. I mean, honestly, having extra land with the Wrenn and Realmbreaker isn't too bad. Deathbonnet in the grave. Behemoth, okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and thin out this deck a little bit. Thinning when you have all this land in hand is probably essential. Get a swing. Nice, no cut down. The main keyword here is gonna be that hexproof, dude. That's pretty insane. Oh, Trespasser. No, get out of here, Trespasser. You do not belong here. Trespasser, how dare. Okay. Wrenn and Realmbreaker. Crap.
If this is my final fight,
I'm just now realizing that the land doesn't untap. I'm just now realizing that. They might swing at it. Let's mill and see if we can see Titania. Oh no. Oh, the Argoth hit the grave too. They're definitely gonna gobble that up, huh? Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. They swing at the Wrenn. Crap. This Trespasser is gonna be a big old pain in the butt. Up to 1 target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with vigilance, hexproof, and haste until... Yeah, it doesn't untap. When I went over the card, I knew it didn't untap. The big issue there, don't hit the land. Yes, okay. So we can actually gonna chump here, keep the Wrenn and Realmbreaker around, because we're probably gonna mill from the Wrenn. We're gonna try to pull off the Titania like as soon as possible.
out of my way.
Dude, the meta's so brutal in general. I haven't seen too many new cards, but we are seeing some new decks every now and then, so that's good news at least. Alright. So we need to hit another Argoth, Sanctum of Nature, which there might actually be... We might actually hit it. Let's see. Also, making a 3/3 swinging at the Sorin would have been good too, but we have the second Wrenn as well. Willow Geist, Brokers Hideout. Could thin the deck again, but Willow Geist is fine too, I'd say. Right? Yeah, we'll keep the Brokers Hideout there. Dude, we have a lot of options, man. Could also go Seed of Hope. It depends. I don't want Titania to die right away either. And Wrenn and Realmbreaker could swing at the Sorin. And then we actually have the blocker too. Okay, I like that. Wrenn and Realmbreaker number 2. We go +1, Forest, Vigilance, Haste. We have Seed of Hope open because of the Vigilance. Dude, that's pretty good, man. That's solid. Could also tap it down for Willow Geist, but I want to be able to block the Trespasser here. And it has hexproof, so they can't spot remove it, so nice, dude. Looks good. No! Opponent! I should have known it was gonna be an Invoke Despair, man. I should have known. Use that mana before it dies. That's brutal, dude. Okay, we really need to see an Argoth, but then somehow Titania has to survive too, so I don't know, man. Uphill battle again, so. And since we just lost a mana too, we're kind of set back pretty good here. Go plus on the Sorin to let it survive. Seed of Hope had a chance of actually seeing the Argoth. Then we would play the then we play Titania, play the Argoth, play the Willow Geist. And then hope they wouldn't have spot removal on Titania. Shielder's Edict, see, we'd have the Willow Geist to sacrifice to that. But, opponent, are you there, buddy? I'm not entirely sure. Opponent is not making any movements over there. They're not going over any cards. They're not looking at their hand. They may have frozen. So we're gonna sit back, relax. Oh, there they are. They probably just want to keep gobbling up creatures, right? Although, if we can get enough mana for the Behemoth, Seed of Hope, okay. I mean, we probably start with Seed of Hope then, right? Could get the, yeah, we could see it. There's a chance that we see the land we need to see. Ah, crap. Actually, second Titania. That way, so first Titania blocks really well. Second Titania survives. Wait, we just talked about Shielder's Edict. Oh, crap, guys. Yeah, no, that's no good. Second Invoke Despair anyways, and then we still have to deal with that Shielder's Edict. Oh, buddy. You know, looking at the deck concept with all the synergies and everything, you'd think it would do a thing, but not against these last two builds. We're going to try our best to let the opponent wrap it up. The game is taking a little bit longer. Hopefully, if they end up chilling for a while again, maybe we'll go ahead and give it to them. If we play Simian Simulacrum with the Willow Geist, technically it's a good blocker. We sacrifice that to the Edict, and we still have the way to kill Trespasser with the Willow Geist. We might not be out of this just yet, guys. Even though they have so many cards in hand, the Willow Geist gains us life too. Sacrifice the Simian Simulacrum to the Shielder's Edict and block Trespasser with the Geist. I guess they still probably have more spot removal in hand at this point, right? Because they've drawn so much on Invoke Despair. Yeah, Hero's Downfall. Wow, we're seeing a lot of Hero's Downfall today. I'm surprised they're still plussing the Sorin too. They definitely could have... Oh, Infernal Grasp too? Oh, there they go, there they go. Yeah, I'm really shocked that they didn't go -2 then. Titania, yeah, I mean, at this point, just a couple Deeproot Wayfinders is the best bet. Oh, we should play this as a land too. I should have started with that. Infernal Grasp still hits artifacts. If that was a go for the throat, then maybe the Behemoth would have been the play last turn. Because it's a 2/7, blocks really well. I would say my first Wrenn and Realmbreaker play where for some reason, I thought the land was going to untap, but even though that's just absurd. Man, that would be really, really powerful, wouldn't it? Soul Transfer, Infernal Grasp, dude. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yep. Okay, last two games were just straight up removal tribal with Dimir and Mono Black. So I bet we could still get there. I bet. I mean, not in this game. I mean, like, in general, but yeah. You guys know what I mean. If one of these times, if we can actually flip the Titania too, it probably will just end up wrapping up the game. Look, the life gain there too, dude. That is so cool. That is so neat. Honestly, something to consider too is how much extra life gain could we have actually gotten if we played Titania first a few turns ago and then dropped the Seed of Hopes after the fact, right? Because that probably could have been a completely different story then as well. Block, drop the GG. I think I forgot to drop the GG for the last opponent too. Oopsie daisies. I'm not really sure, but I feel like, okay. I was gonna say, I feel like this opponent is like freezing up sometimes or something and he has to wait a second. That's completely possible. Opponent? I guess we're gonna have to drop the concede, guys. I don't want to wait too long. Speaking of waiting too long, always feel free to check. At the bottom of the video, we have chapters, and then also in the description, we have the timestamps for those chapters as well. So always feel free to skip ahead. I know I like to wait until the very last moment, but not everyone likes to wait until the very last moment. So always feel free to skip ahead in the video, watch the other matches as well. Or, you know, check out the final thoughts too. Sometimes there's not too much to say in the final thoughts and the deck just does everything it needed to do. Other times there's a lot to talk about in the final thoughts, and usually there's a lot to talk about whenever a new set releases because we go over like how well the new cards performed and everything. Alright, decent hand. Please, opponent, don't be removal tribal. Even if it is removal tribal, we'll still need to pull something off eventually. Look, Sanctum of Nature, guys. Okay. That's good news. So turn 1 Willow Geist, turn 2 Brokers Hideout, right? Unless we see a 2-drop here. Well, maybe Sanctum of Nature too, but we could wait for turn 4 and have the Polukranos down potentially. Oh, Teachings. We should probably do that then instead. See what we hit in the grave here. Bonnet, Forest, Teachings. Okay. Screll can't block, so we swing. No successful turn 3 now that we played Teachings, but I think overall that'll be fine. Selesnya Toxic, wow. Okay. Take this 2. I think the creature here is going to be important as our life gain isn't going to do too much for a little while here, so. Make the spirit better at blocking, right? And yeah, both of these come out tapped, so very slow turn. I say we filter out the deck with the Brokers Hideout then over the Argoth. Because we'll have a legendary creature on the board, and we have Titania now too, so. Alright, save some blockers back. This is about to flip into the Orochi. It might be Polukranos just for the sake of blocking. And it blocks really well, so. Okay, let the Skrelv through. Tyvar stand. It's worth a shot, right? I think so. I think it was worth the shot for sure. They might actually, if they don't have a third mana, they might actually just, okay, Tyvar stand, sure. So they didn't have another 1-drop either, that's good news. Brokers Hideout. Okay. Let's do, okay, Wrenn and Realmbreaker's not bad too. It's probably Polukranos for the sake of blocking, but at the same time, So we have no 1-mana card, so we're going to wait on the Argoth, since we still need 2 more land in the grave for the Titania, too. It's a tough decision, but I think it's just going to be Polukranos this turn for the sake of blocking, and Brokers Hideout for the sake of thinning out the deck. How do we feel about that? I don't plan on blocking with the Willow Geist, so I am just going to swing here, because I think damage matters. They found their 3rd land. Bloated Contaminators. Polukranos just blocks so well, man. Oh my goodness. Now Skrelv can start to help them get stuff through, though, which is pretty sketchy. Seed of Hope is a good one. Seed of Hope is a good one. Alright. Do we Seed of Hope now? Probably. It buffs the Willow Geist. We could do it as a surprise, though. But what if we see, like, another Willow Geist to hit? Yeah, we should do it now. You never know. We have a lot of 1-drops in the deck, guys, so... We keep the land, and we grab Deeproot Wayfinder. Titania flips if they don't have removal. Next turn, of course. So, we'll see, man. I'm excited. There's a possibility. We keep everything. They go Skrelv. Yeah, I guess we keep it all back, which is relatively unfortunate, but... Because they just go Skrelv, call green. They'll have the Proliferate on Contaminator. What we're really hoping for is they don't have their 3-drop that picks up a 3 or less. Can't remember that card name right now. All green. So we're going to be at 5 poison. Skrelv's Hive. Guys, Titania is going to flip because I can't think of any removal they could have that would be from the Seed Core, first of all. But yeah, up to 5. I'm so excited. Let's go, Titania! Yes! How many lands did I have in my grave? I don't even know. Oh, a good chunk, actually. Willow Geist buffing. Let's go. Okay, we have to, like, win this turn, though, because the poison is getting a little excessive. Everything they have has lifelink, too. So how are we going to do this, guys? We drew a land as well? Okay. Okay. I mean, we'll play it, right? Because that makes sense to me. Target land you control. I mean, it's going to be Wrenn and Realmbreaker, though, instead, right? I would think so. I would think so. And we'll go plus. See if we full swing. It does have vigilance, too, so... They have 1 blocker. They block the biggest thing. We go counter from... We go +1 counter. We go... sure, the Tyvar stand, right? That's fine. No. Our graveyard. We'll hit the Seed of Hope. That'll buff the Willow Geist as well. Put the counter on Titania. It has Trample. They block Polukranos. And that's it. Because of the Trample. Well, 8 gets through there then. Yep. GG opponent, man. Look at that board. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, once you flip the Titania... Wait, they have lifelink, but it's not enough lifelink, luckily. Woo! Oh man, that was sick, guys. That was awesome. That's what I'm talking about. Those first 2 games, don't even look at them. Don't even give 2 thoughts to the first 2 games. Now, the truth of the matter is you're probably going to be running into a lot of decks with, you know, the removal tribal decks. So, you know, you got to think about them, unfortunately. In that game, too, the opponent didn't have too much land there either, and we got really lucky that they didn't find removal for Titania as well. I'm just happy we got to pull that off, man. So let's try to get 1 more game in here. All right, nice. Good hand. Since we have the 3 mana in hand, we're actually going to start with the Deathbonnet Sprout here too. Get the mill rolling, right? Maybe right into Wayfinder. Ooh, Behemoth's a great one to hit there. I don't think they trade, but if they do trade, that's a really good trade for us. Something we could have done this turn too is actually play Brokers Hideout, thin the deck, play Willow Geist, and then turn 3 of the Titania right away. Cool Forest's opponent, very cool. Ozolith, okay. Okay. Some 2 very different versions of mono green here, potentially. Polukranos. Like the swing's gonna go. So let's go. Honestly, if we go fast, like Simian Simulacrum, buff the Deathbonnet Sprout, we might be able to outpace them here. Depending on what their turn 3 play is. See what we hit with the Wayfinder. Polukranos. There's no land in my graveyard, right? Yeah, no land. I'll send it. Do we need to see Polukranos? No, I don't think so. And that is 3 for the Deathbonnet, so the Deathbonnet will flip next turn. Ooh, nice. Oh, they're just setting up right now, guys. Hey, there's a land. Argoth hit. Argoth is now in the grave, which is good news. So we can thin and Willow Geist, Willow Geist. Probably full swing here, right? And just play the Titania. That's what I'm thinking. Grab a forest. I don't think thinning out the deck. No, I would have loved to play this one out. No, I'm so sad now. Aww. What? How far are we? 37? All right, let's try to get one more instead of just talking about this. Honestly, with how much setup they were doing over there, it was looking relatively good for us. And we might have had a decent chance of getting Titania and Argoth on the board at the same time, but then we still needed to stock the graveyard with more lands to eventually flip it anyways. Excuse me, guys, my goodness. Anyways, we get a drink of water real quick. Okay. Yeah, we got our turn 1. I don't mind seeing like early land and everything. And thinning out the deck early is pretty good too, so. Okay, that's fine, I suppose. Get this out tapped now and we have Seed of Hope. And I don't know if we do Seed of Hope. I guess we do. Like, we like to have combos with it and everything, but also just getting cards into the grave is completely fine. Also, if they countered it, that would have been good too. Yep, Deathbonnet Sprout's good. Speaking of a counter. Alright, let's see. We can't just go Titania. This really looks like an Essence Scatter or something. They let Willow Geist hit. Yeah, make disappear. Because we had the, yeah, we had the 2 open for the make disappear when we played Willow Geist, so. Keep the 3, some mono blue guys, okay. Well, Polukranos is a good one, because we don't want the Titania. Start with the swing, see what happens. I'm not sure what kind of flash creatures mono blue might have right now, but Polukranos probably does not enter the board. And honestly, just for the sake of protecting Titania, well, it might just be more make disappears to play around, so maybe... Thirst for Discovery, dude. Getting a big, chunky creature on the board, that probably means Fading Hope is in the opponent's hand. That's what I'm assuming, at least. This has reach, too. That's awesome, man. That's great against mono blue. Yeah, we block the Haughty Djinn so well. Okay, Willow Geist, number 2. Maybe we can successfully get this down, but Argoth, Sanctum of Nature, gets us some 2/2s and gets us some milling, too. We keep this back. Could get a swing too, though. It says activate only as a sorcerer. I'm just gonna do this turn, and maybe we do just keep Polukranos available. Simian Simulacrum hitting the board here. Now, we are trying to do a lot of damage fast, so we should swing. We shouldn't take too much damage from the Djinn, and we do have life gain packed into this build too, so we might be alright. Yeah, we should have swung first, then created the bear, but I kind of decided late after the fact, so moment of truth. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. You put 1 of those cards into your hand, put 1 into your graveyard, and 1 on the bottom of your library. Nice. Cool. Looks like a decent one for mono blue, being able to put it right into the grave, right? Isn't there one that lets you surveil too? Or that might not be in standard, actually. Not really certain there. 4 open islands. Djinn number 2. Now we're in trouble, guys. Now we need to keep the Polukranos as a blocker, but Fading Hope, I mean, it's gotta be in there, man. It's gotta be. Seed of Hope. Alright. Willow Geist number 2. I was gonna say, we could create another bear, but now they have a terrific blocker, too, so... Seed of Hope. Buff the Willow Geists, right? See what we see. Okay, Deeproot Wayfinder, sure. Buff the Willow Geists. They might trade here, actually. If we full swing, they block one of the 2/2s, we get 6 through, which isn't too bad. Titania is definitely going to eat the counter, so Deeproot Wayfinder would be a better bet. If we had 4 land in the grave, then I would risk the Titania, because we're kind of in trouble. We're kind of in trouble here. Sorry, opponent, I'm thinking. So if we don't swing, there's a chance we die next turn. There is. They have 5 islands, guys. There's a chance that we die. However, it could still just be Fading Hope regardless. So if we start with Polukranos, they do take the trade here. That's pretty good for us, guys. That being said, we probably play Titania then? And see if they counter it. I think that's fine. I think they could counter Wayfinder too, but Scatter Ray, yep, alright. So since they took the trade for the Polukranos, there might be a 3rd Haughty Djinn chilling in their hand waiting to hit this board too, so Titania's reach was kind of what I was considering there. Wayfinder still would have been hit by the Scatter Ray. Haughty Djinn number 3, yep. That explains the trade there. And Tolarian Terror. We are in some serious trouble, man. Alright, Seed of Hope. Let's do this. I don't know why it taps the Argoth. A little bit weird. Aw. They countered it. Well, that's not good, guys. They have 14 in the air now. That's that. We lost. Unless they swing with Terror on the ground too. Well, maybe they block. Maybe we survive. I'm not really sure. Here we go. Buff the Geists. We're just gonna swing. Just going, man. None of these have anything. We could actually block Terror on the ground here. Right? I guess, sure. I mean, they could still have Fading Hope in hand. The thought process here, oh yeah, see, so we are gaining some life here. That's not bad. It's not bad for us. Oh, back up to 19. They're down to 10. Yay, we're not dead. Let's go. I mean, we could still die pretty easily. They have 3 cards in hand. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. 3 more. That gives them 20 damage on the board, right? As long as they don't get rid of an island. Good game, opponent. Oh my goodness, man. Uphill battles overall today, but I really like what this deck did. I really love the synergies and everything in it too, so yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time. I enjoyed this. 26 total damage. The third Haughty Djinn was a little bit unlucky for us too. That's a lot of power in the air to deal with, and then I went and risked the Titania play too, which could have been a chump blocker for at least one turn, so probably could have played it out better overall as well, so. Alright guys, let's go ahead and go over the list here real quick. Here's the deck list again, guys. What would I do? What would I add or take out? I would probably go up the third Wrenn and Realmbreaker. I think it's a pretty sweet card, and I guess really you're looking, I don't have a third one, you're probably looking at it as a 4-drop then, where you can actually have that land to protect it as well, right? Titania, Voice of Gaea, and Argoth are so cool, but in some way, like, I don't know how to, like, you want to see the combo, you want to see it, right? But I could also see dropping down to 3 Argoths and 3 Titanias. 1, Argoth coming out tapped definitely does slow you down. And 2, at some point, this being a legendary creature is going to slow you down as well. At some point, you're going to have an opening hand with like 3 or all 4 of your Titanias. And I guess at that point you would just mulligan, but still. No, it kind of gets rid of part of the spirit of the deck too. I like having all 4. I like the best odds of actually seeing it. When you're filtering through your deck with like Wrenn and 7's -2 or Seed of Hope, you have like a pretty great chance of seeing the combo too. Like you're really ripping through the deck and seeing a lot of different cards. And if you do accidentally send something to the grave that you really didn't want to be there, then Conduit of Worlds is there to help you, playing lands with Behemoth, like getting that Argoth out of the grave too. I think like overall, you look at this deck list and you're like, huh, that should have done more than what it did, right? But you never really know. Standard has been like, has had this crazy power level. It's just like, it's a powerful format, man. I don't know what else to say about it. Like the decks and the opponents are really bringing it to the table. So Deeproot Wayfinder barely did anything in here today at least, but I think overall, I think the surveil ability is really cool too. Maybe it belongs in a different build. Maybe it actually doesn't belong in a build where we want stuff in the grave. That seems a little silly to say though, you know? So Willow Geist is great. I love it. It's too bad we didn't get to see too much of it today. Like we didn't get to see its ability happen too much today, to my surprise, right? Deathbonnet Sprout might be a card to drop though. I don't know what else you would want, and you really like the ability to start plugging cards into your graveyard early, so maybe, I don't know, what would you guys change? Let me know down in the comments, because I wouldn't change too much without actually just testing more. You know what, maybe Polukranos and going up some of that removal that I was telling you guys about earlier, right? The deck doesn't necessarily need the removal, though. I mean, you wouldn't mind the removal, don't get me wrong. I don't know. This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one. Yeah, Polukranos Reborn is technically unnecessary, even though it's very powerful in like a mono green list like this. So dropping those and going up some form of green removal could be fine. A couple bushwhacks could be good, but guess what? If you do go up any removal, then Seed of Hope gets a little bit worse every single time you do that, because when you mill 2 cards, you can put a permanent card from among them. It just says permanent, so if you end up milling those like Tyvar stands and one of your pieces of removal like a bushwhack, then you're not bringing anything back, so that could be detrimental. So just having more creatures like Polukranos might actually be the best call. Man, is this really the best way to put the list together? I don't know, man. Yeah, no, let me know down in the comments, what would you add or take out? If you guys made it this far into the video, then for real, y'all are champions. Holy cow. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next video.